is this bowling attack for SRH just too toothless without comments? RCB, they had Jacob Duffy who did just that. Secondly, have SRH picked the wrong kind of attack? Thirdly, are SRH overloading Ishan Kishan? Bowlers quota were all done. He bowled the 15th and went for 17 runs. This time he came into bat a lot earlier. Batted for 20 had a proper Shardul Thakur revival. So, hello and welcome to this episode of the Indian Premier League 2026 wrap, where I look at what transpired over the first weekend of this year's competition. The first match was between Royal Challengers Bangalore and SRH. And Bangalore began their title defense of the IPL with a rollicking win over the Sunrisers Hyderabad. When they faced off last year, RCB had failed to chase down 230. It was a huge score, obviously. But Pat Cummins for SRH had grabbed a 3 for 28 from his 4 overs. And that was the difference. Him not being there this time as they coasted to a chase of 202. Now, after years of talking pointedly about what Bangalore could have done better, here are a few things to look at for Sunrisers Hyderabad for a change. So the first most obvious question is this bowling attack for SRH just too toothless without comments? I mean, Coach Daniel Vettori did acknowledge that this was one of their worst bowling showing. But can they drastically improve overnight if Cummins does not play the next game either, and probably a couple of games after that? Because this one had no real pace, no real intimidation, no one rushing the batters, and no wrist spinners either. Now look at RCB. They had Jacob Duffy, who did just that. Suyash Sharma added that wrist spin variety. SRH, well, they did not have too much. Now, secondly, have SRH picked the wrong kind of attack? Because if Jaydev Unadkat and David Payne have to work, they need the pitch to provide some assistance, either in form of seam or swing, or it holding on a little more where the ball does not really come onto the bat. And they need someone like Bryden Cast to regain fitness quickly, or even someone like a Zishan Ansari who can bowl leg spin for some actual variation. Thirdly, are SRH overloading Ishan Kishan? Because he's their captain, he's their best batter, bats in the top 3, and he keeps wickets too. And that's a lot. Till such time that Pat Cummins returns to lead the side, Hyderabad may need him to go down to the to field at mid-on, mid-off and leave the gloves to someone like a Salil Arora or a Heinrich Klaassen, because it didn't obviously help that he conceded 8 straightforward runs as buys. So that was the first match. What changes do you expect Hyderabad to make before their second game? Moving on to the second match now, and wow, now that was something. Mumbai Indians romped to a rather stunning win after chasing down 221 in their chase in 19.1 overs against KKR, and that incidentally helped them break the opening match hoodoo going back to 2012, where they've been losing all their opening matches, as you know. Now, there are a few questions from that Mumbai-Kolkata match, and one moment that just had to be appreciated. Firstly, we talk about Mumbai Indians. They did win the match, but did they miss a trick by bowling Ala Ghazan for his 4th over? Because he had bowled 3 and Mayank Markande had also bowled 1. So the 5th bowler's quota were all done. He bowled the 15th and went for 17 runs off it, while the experience of Hardik Pandya, he finished with 3 overs, could have been, a lot of a bigger factor in the final analysis. Secondly, are Kolkata Knight Riders finally waking up to how good Rinku Singh actually is? Because this time he came into bat a lot earlier, batted for 21 balls, and for the first time in 2 seasons, actually had a proper innings that he played. Obviously, the retirement from Andre Russell helps. But honestly, it makes you wonder why KKR have spent so long treating a talented bat like Rinku Singh to bat like a final 2 over specialist. Thirdly, are we looking at a proper Shardul Thakur revival here? Because he looked fitter, sharper, and more importantly, he bowled very smartly. After Mumbai Indians were clattered in the first few overs by Rahane and Finn Allen, he was the first one to really change pace. He used the slower balls, hit the Yorkers very well, and actually he thought his way through the innings. The 3 wickets and the Player of the Match award was incidental, very well deserved as well, but it was his bowling that really impressed. And then there was Kartik Tyagi. Now, honestly speaking, I was looking forward to watch him bowl. He's someone who can force the issue. He can hurry the batters with his sharp pace. But at the same time, he also showed his intelligence with his ability to cut the pace back. Now, he started off by conceding 16 of the first over. He was hit for a 6 the very first ball. Rohit Sharma then pulled him for another 6, but he came back well in the final 3 overs, conceding just 27 and grabbing a wicket. Now, can he grab this opportunity that he has got in the absence of Harshit Rana and the other KKR pacers who have been injured with both his hands? To finish this off, I remember I told you we'll talk about something special, and that's the 2 sixes, one in each game. Those Rohit Sharma and Kohli sixes. Pure box office, I tell you. Kohli looked like he had just caressed a straight drive and cajoled it all the way to the fence. Rohit, he hit a full toss over covers while looking at long off, almost like it was a cricketing version of a football dummy. Well, flat pitch or not, these would have sent both the Kohli and Rohit fans in raptures. It certainly did to me.